Hi, welcome back. In today's video I want to talk about why Brazilians are very clean but also dirty. Okay, so let's start off by looking at why Brazilians are one of the cleanest people in the world. And this isn't just me saying that, there are many articles that have written about why Brazil is one of the cleanest nations in the world. And one of the main reasons for that is the fact that Brazilians take a lot of showers. And according to surveys, Brazilians take 14 showers a week. And the global average is just 5 showers a week. And in Sweden, the average is between 5 and 6. So that means that a lot of people in Sweden don't take a shower every day. Which is a bit surprising for me, because in Sweden I took a shower every day. So I guess I'm not a normal Swede in that respect. Now, why Brazilians take 2 showers or even more per day, I think it's partly down to the climate. So the climate in Brazil is very hot, and in many parts, especially the south, it's very humid as well. Yeah, and that causes people to sweat a lot, and so they take more showers, which makes sense. But then there are many other hot countries where people take a lot less showers. So it isn't just the climate, it's also a cultural thing. You can see that with Brazilians who move overseas. So I know some Brazilians who live in Sweden and in the UK, and many of them keep taking the same number of showers even though they now live in a much colder climate. And I would say that this aspect of the Brazilian culture is just a positive thing. So when I take public transport, for example, here in Brazil, it's very rare for me to be on a bus or a train or something and the people around me stink. So that's definitely a good thing. Now compare that to Sweden or the UK, for example, where people take fewer showers, and many times when I've caught a bus or a train and I'm on it and I'm like, what is this smell? And then I realise it's the guy next to me and he probably hasn't had a shower, and then you have to endure that the whole journey. And then I also think, if that person smells this much now at 7 in the morning, just think how much they're going to smell when they return home at 5, 6 in the evening. I would say that one of the reasons why Swedish people take fewer showers is also to do with environmental concerns. So people are very concerned about not wasting water, and so they feel that taking lots of showers and long showers is wasting water. And so I think many people take fewer showers because of this concern. But now that I've lived in Brazil for a number of years, I've started copying the Brazilians, and now I take 2 showers a day on most days. I mean, I try to take very quick showers in order not to waste water, but for me now it just feels better to have a shower in the morning and also in the evening. And now I think there's an expression that a shower in the morning is for you to be fresh and smell nice for everyone else, and then the shower in the evening is for yourself so that you go to bed smelling nice and fresh. And connected to that are the bidet showers that a lot of Brazilians have in their bathrooms. So this is a hose and a little shower head that they have right next to the toilet, which you then use to clean yourself after you've been to the toilet. So I like to call it the butt gun, and this is pretty common in Brazilian homes, not in all of them, but in many. You can even find it in some office buildings, airports, and shopping malls as well. And in Sweden, I don't think I've ever seen one of these next to the toilet, but I've come across them before, especially in the Middle East. So when I saw them here in Brazil, I wasn't surprised. I knew what they were for, and actually they make a lot of sense, and I'm a fan of them now. So another reason why Brazil is a very clean nation is because Brazilians brush their teeth a lot. So most Brazilians, they brush their teeth at least 3 times a day. So in the morning, after lunch, and in the evening. And some Brazilians brush their teeth even more than that. And that's very different to Swedish people, also Americans and many other Europeans. And, I mean, in Sweden, nearly everyone brushes their teeth twice a day, in the morning and the evening, and that's it. So when I met my Brazilian wife, I thought it was very weird that she was constantly brushing her teeth. And my wife and many other Brazilians, they take a toothbrush with them to work so they can brush their teeth at lunchtime. And if you were to do that in Sweden, people would think you're super weird. But just like showering, I now think brushing your teeth 3 times a day is much better. Brushing your teeth after lunch and removing any food that's stuck in your teeth, and just freshening up your breath. So now I do it every day. But it isn't just brushing your teeth. Brazilians in general look after their teeth a lot more than Swedish people. So they go to the dentist a lot more to clean their teeth, to whiten their teeth. Braces are very common, and not just for kids. I mean, in Sweden, lots of kids have braces as well, but adults use braces here in Brazil because they want to improve their smile and their teeth as well. And for adults to use braces, that's not very common at all in Sweden, that's for sure. And it isn't just Brazilian humans that are very clean, it's also their pets. So most Brazilians that I know who have dogs, they take their dogs once a week for them to be washed and to be groomed. And this is not common at all in Sweden. So the dogs that I had in Sweden, I never took them to be washed somewhere. I mean, I washed them now and again, but that was like once every 2 months or something, so not very often at all. So when I met my Brazilian wife, she had a dog, and she was taking the dog once a week to be washed. But after a while I convinced her that was not necessary, and actually we could wash it at home and spend less money. When I say it to my Brazilian friends, many are shocked and they say, but doesn't your dog smell? And I'm like, no, it smells like a dog, how a dog should smell. It doesn't smell of perfume, but in my opinion, dogs shouldn't smell of perfume. I mean, obviously, if my dogs roll in something stinky, then I'll wash them straight away. But otherwise, they just smell like a normal dog should do. And also finally, Brazilian homes in general are very clean. Now I think that's partly because here in Brazil it's very common to have cleaners, because it's a lot less expensive here. So a lot of people have cleaners that come once a week to clean their apartments or their homes. And to have cleaners in Sweden is not very common. So people clean their own homes and they don't have that much time because they're working. So that kind of means that Swedish homes are a bit less clean than Brazilian homes. But then there are also many Brazilians who don't have cleaners, but they still clean their houses very thoroughly. And then I also know Brazilians who have cleaners. So they have a cleaner that comes once a week, but then on another day, they themselves thoroughly clean the home as well. And so their home is cleaned thoroughly 2 times a week. So again, this is a cultural thing where Brazilians like to have very clean homes, while Swedish people are a bit more relaxed and don't mind it being a bit more messy and a bit less clean. And related to that, which I find quite funny, is that when Brazilians invite friends and family over to have a party or to have a barbecue or something, a lot of them have this party or barbecue not inside the home, but in a separate barbecue or party area. So in a lot of apartment buildings, they have this salão de festa, this party room, which anyone in the apartment building can rent, and they can have their barbecue or party down there, which means they don't have to have the party inside their apartment and make it all messy and dirty. So they can have it in this separate place in the apartment building. And then in a lot of Brazilian homes, they have this separate barbecue area, and that's where they hold the party and the barbecue. And a lot of these areas have a bathroom as well. So when the guests arrive, the guests go straight there and they stay there, and they don't enter into the home and make that dirty and messy and everything. And there's a separate bathroom as well, so the guests don't use the main bathroom inside the house. They use this bathroom out in the barbecue area. And again, I think this is partly down to wanting to keep the house clean, and so they have the guests and the party separate. For me, I found this very funny, because in Sweden, if you have a party, you're going to have the party in your apartment or inside your home. You don't have this separate place where you can have the party or barbecue. Obviously, there are other reasons why Brazilians do that. It's not just to keep their houses clean, but that's one of the reasons, I'm sure. Okay, so based on what I've been saying here, it seems like Brazilians are very clean. They take lots of showers, they clean their pets a lot, they clean the house a lot, which is all very true. But then there is this other side as well, which can be a bit dirty. And that's the fact that a lot of Brazilians, they don't take off their shoes when they go inside the house. And that's very different to Swedish people. So in Sweden, we take off our shoes when we go inside, and we feel walking inside the house with shoes which we've worn outside is very dirty. You're bringing in lots of dirt and germs and stuff. Now, I know there are many other countries that do the same. When I lived in America, for example, a lot of Americans walk inside with their shoes. So it's definitely not just Brazil. And also, Brazilian homes are built a bit for you to walk inside with your shoes. So a lot of Brazilian homes, they have tiles on the floor, not carpet. So it's kind of easy to clean them, and they can be a bit cold as well, so then you wear shoes so your feet don't get cold. I can kind of understand why Brazilians wear shoes inside, but it's something I can't get used to, and now having lived here many years, I still take off my shoes when I go inside. Oh, and I've also converted my Brazilian wife into thinking that wearing shoes inside is dirty, and now she also takes off her shoes all the time when she goes inside. And also connected to that, we Swedish people, we sit on the floor a lot inside the house, we put bags and stuff on the floor, and in general Brazilians don't like doing that. They don't like sitting on the floor, they don't like putting their bags on the floor. I've even heard a saying that putting your bag on the floor is bad luck. Here in Brazil, and that's kind of connected to the fact that you're walking inside with your shoes on, and so the floor is dirty, and so you don't want to sit or put things on the floor. So yeah, I would say that's one dirty thing that Brazilians do. And then another thing that for me is dirty is not being able to flush toilet paper down the toilet, and instead you have to throw it into a little bin next to the toilet. So I've already mentioned this in another video. So in Brazil, in a lot of homes, offices, shopping malls, airports, you're not allowed to flush toilet paper down the toilet. And that's because the pipes are small, and so if you were to flush the toilet paper down there, you would clog the system. So what you do instead is you throw the toilet paper into a small bin next to the toilet. But for me that's weird, dirty and disgusting. And also it means a lot more work as well, because you're constantly having to empty that bin and put in new plastic bags, and then also you have to go and put it out in the road as well for the rubbish men to collect it. So it's definitely something I don't like at all. Now saying that, you've got some new homes and offices where you can flush the toilet paper down the toilet, but I would say that still, I would say 80-90% of the places I go to, I still have to throw the toilet paper into a bin. And even the biggest international airport in Brazil, so Guarulhos in Sao Paulo, there they've got bins next to the toilet, and they ask you to throw the toilet paper in the bins. And I'm sure there are many foreigners who get very confused when they go to the bathrooms in the airports and in the hotels, and they have to throw the toilet paper into the bins. And then finally, another thing that's kind of connected to toilets and bathroom, it's sewage treatment here in Brazil. So Brazil is not the best at treating sewage, and a lot of the sewage is not treated at all and goes straight out into the rivers and into the sea. And apparently in the whole of Brazil, about 50% of the sewage is treated and 50% goes straight out. And I've seen this myself, so in a lot of small towns in Rio Grande do Sul, Santa Catarina, Paraná, and the south of Brazil, there are no sewage treatment works. And so every house needs to have its own septic tank and filter, and so all the solids and all the dirt should be collected there. Clean water should then flow into the sewage pipes, and then that flows directly into rivers or out to sea. But the problem is these septic tanks and filters, they don't totally clean the water, so there's still dirty water flowing out into the rivers. And then also there are a lot of old homes as well which don't have these septic tanks and filters and stuff, and so then everything flows out into the sewage system and into the rivers and the sea. So the end result is that a lot of rivers in Brazil are very, very polluted. So polluted from the home and also from industry as well, which don't clean all the wastewater before it goes out into the sewage. Now in the big cities, a lot of them have sewage treatment works, but in a lot of these cities, the facilities can't cope with everything, and so they're only able to treat part of the wastewater, and then they have to release the rest straight into the rivers and the sea. So for example, in the city of Florianopolis, they treat about 70% of the sewage. So still about 30% is released straight into the rivers and the sea. And this is a big developed city with over 500,000 inhabitants. So that kind of shows you that even in the big cities, they're not able to treat all of the sewage. I mean, it is getting better every year, they're treating more and more, but there's still a lot to do. So it's very important if you're going to visit Brazil and go to some beaches that you check that these beaches are clean and you can swim in them, because there are many beaches that are dirty because dirty rivers flow into them, and every year there are some stories about people getting sick because they've been swimming in polluted waters. And there's a website showing you where all the clean beaches are, and I'll leave a link to that in the description below. And also this doesn't impact just the beaches, it also has an impact on the quality of the drinking water as well. So if you're planning to move to Brazil, it's worth checking where the drinking water comes from for your area. So it doesn't come from one of the very polluted rivers. So this is definitely another negative aspect that you need to consider here in Brazil. Okay, so hopefully now you understand why I said Brazil is very clean, but on the other hand can be a bit dirty as well. So I think it's really positive that Brazilians take lots of showers, they look after their teeth, they wash their pets a lot, and clean their houses thoroughly. I think that's all really good. But then there are certain other things which I think could be improved a bit. But it's like that with any country, there are things that could be improved. So even with Sweden, it wouldn't hurt for Swedes to take a few more showers and to be less serious and relax and be a bit more friendlier, and lots of other things as well. And don't get me wrong, I love living in Brazil. I think it's better than living in Sweden. So don't think I'm sitting here criticizing Brazil, thinking Sweden's a lot better. No, I definitely prefer living here in Brazil than Sweden. So I hope you like this video. Please leave a like, subscribe. If you've got any questions or anything, leave in the commentary below. So thanks for watching. Until next time.